If you're pregnant for the first time and you are preparing for your first prenatal appointment, I'm going to give a very high level overview of what you can expect so that you kind of go into it feeling a little bit less on edge. Again, very high overview, and also take it all with a grain of salt because everybody is a little bit different depending on their doctor, depending on how far along they are when they go in, etc. First of all, the first appointment is usually a longer one, and it's more about you than your baby in the beginning. Depends on how far along you are, but let's assume that you are early on. This appointment is usually around like the 8 to 12 week mark. Mine didn't want to see me until I was 10 weeks, I believe, but story for another day. They're going to want to establish the basics. So your baseline, medical history, risk factors, things like that. They will likely do an ultrasound. Not everybody gets one the first appointment I did, and it's also worth mentioning that it may not be an ultrasound on the stomach. It's an ultrasound the other way. I was very caught off guard by that. So know that that could potentially happen. The questions that they're going to ask you can sometimes feel overwhelming. It's going to be a lot of medical history, a lot of mental health questions, a lot of lifestyle questions, medications, supplements. Like, you may leave feeling a little bit frazzled. It's okay if you don't get it all right. Just do the best you can. There will also potentially be quite a bit of blood work at this. So if you don't like needles, if you don't like giving blood, if you are allowed to eat, I would eat before, bring water, bring your comfort items, whatever that looks like for you, and just know that that's usually a part of the first appointment. You don't need to have all the answers at this appointment, but this is a really good time to start getting a feel for your OB. Make sure you guys are gelling. Remember, this is the person that will potentially be delivering your baby. You want to make sure that you feel respected. Are they answering your questions? Are they rushing you through the appointment? Are they being dismissive? Like, start clocking things like that so that you know early on if you want to potentially switch providers. I would also start writing everything down after each appointment so that you can keep track of conversations that you had and any questions that come up after the fact. I would leave my appointments feeling very overwhelmed by all the information and then think of something I wish I had asked and then forget to ask it at the next appointment because I wasn't tracking it. So create a notes thing in your phone and just start tracking everything that way so that you can keep tabs on it in case you experience that as well. And if you can bring your support person with you, this is an appointment that I probably would have them at if possible. I brought my husband to most appointments during my pregnancy, and many of them, they were like quick in and out checks. He didn't really need to be at those, but the first one, I would say yes. Okay, I hope that was not overwhelming.